Hi, I'm Bob Rubart with the Oracle Technology Network, and my guest today is Simon Ritter. Simon is head of Java evangelism at Oracle, and he's on the roster of speakers for the upcoming KubeCon event in London, which is March 5th through March 7th, I believe. How are you today, Simon?
I'm very well, thank you.
So before we talk about what you have planned for your KubeCon session, can you tell me a bit about how you spend your time in your role as Oracle's lead Java evangelist?
I spend my time doing really a number of different things. Primarily, our role is to talk to developers. And so it's about going out and explaining to developers what the latest advances are in terms of Java technology. And what we really try to do is focus on technology. We're not marketing, we're not sales, we are technical people who hopefully have the ability to communicate.
And it appears you're doing rather well at that. So okay, let's pivot to KubeCon. What will you be talking about during your presentation?
Okay, I've actually got two presentations. First one I'm going to be doing is on the Java Carputer. That's something I've developed where I put a Raspberry Pi in my car and connected it to the car so that I can take data from the in-car systems, marry it up with sensors which monitor things like acceleration and also GPS, and then I can display that information in a sort of Formula One style on a screen which I've got mounted in the car as well. The second session that I'm doing is on the new features in Java SE8, specifically around lambdas and the functional programming side of things that we've introduced for bulk operations around collections. So those are the two things that I'm really talking about.
Cool. The automobile thing sounds great. What now? On a personal level, what do you do with that data from your car? Anything?
I've not really had enough time to get into all the details of it because it's one of those projects that's sort of ongoing. So I've got various bits of it working, but I've got lots of ideas for new things that I want to do. So I just recently got the GPS sensor working with that. And so I'm now going to try and bring that information in so I can actually see the G-forces that I've got involved in the car and lay that out on a map so I can actually see, where I'm going around a corner, how many G, well, less than 1 G, what speed I'm going around the corner and things like that. And I've also got some weird ideas because I'd like to connect a heart rate monitor and then I can see what my heart rate is as I'm driving along, and so all sorts of ideas like that. And it's an ongoing project, as I say.
So you can get a road rage reading.
Yes.
Terrific. I suspect that given the incredible interest in the Internet of Things and embedded technologies, that you're probably getting a lot of questions about that in your role as an evangelist.
Exactly, yes, because that session is related exactly to that. It's the idea of things being connected to the network and taking that information. And one of the things that's happening certainly in Europe is that there's a new law that's coming in, which means that all new cars that are built will have to have GPRS built into them so that in the event of an accident, it can actually automatically dial the emergency services and have emergency services sent to the scene of an accident. As I say, that's part of a telematics system that's being put into all cars. So there's lots of things in that space going on. I mean, not just in automobiles, but also around smart metering. That's another thing in Europe which is being mandated. So all meters are going to have to be replaced with ones which are connected to the network. So the electricity companies, the gas companies can pull that information, figure out how much energy is being used and improve efficiency, hopefully, those kinds of things.
Of course, if the cars are driving themselves, as Google has planned, there won't be any accidents, will there?
That's right, yes. Look at a lot of the companies now, Mercedes, Audi, BMW, all have these systems where they've got adaptive cruise control, they've got braking systems that will hopefully stop the car before you hit something. And tip of the iceberg. I mean, it's all coming, all of this thing.
Have you, in your conversations with other Java developers who might be working on similar stuff, what sort of things have you come across?
There's a lot of interest, certainly in terms of developers, a lot of interest in like home automation, because that's one area where people can apply all sorts of interesting ideas. So a number of developers I was talking to literally last week at the JFocus conference in Sweden are all doing interesting things around home monitoring, alarm systems, monitoring how much electricity is being used, tying that in with all sorts of other information around the home to see, how they can improve efficiency, how they can make life better, those types of things. So that's one area that's certainly attracting a lot of developer attention.
And then what about on the other end of that, on the enterprise side of that, in terms of gathering and processing this data that might be coming from our toasters and refrigerators and running shoes?
Yeah, that's the other side of the Internet of Things picture, because it's fine having small devices which generate data and then connect it to the internet, but you then got to be able to do something useful with the data, and that's where the big data analytics kind of thing comes in, cloud computing, where you can upload all of that data. But again, one of the kind of key points of that is that you can't just upload all of the data, and so you have the idea of a gateway in the middle, and that does sort of filtering. So it takes all the raw data from, say, one house, figures out, okay, these are the useful bits of information, and then can upload that to the cloud, so that the cloud can then take the view of lots and lots of houses or lots and lots of cars, and then make decisions and build analytics based on that. So it's about filtering the amount of information that goes into the cloud and big data. So big data is big, but we don't want it to be huge in that sense.
But it's going to be anyway. Regardless of what we want, it's going to be huge anyway. Do you recall off the top of your head what days your sessions are on at QCon?
Yes. So I'm talking on Wednesday afternoon. That's when the Carputer session is on. And then I'm talking on late Thursday afternoon. So it's about 10 to 5 in the afternoon is my Lambda session.
Okay, great. Well, Simon, thank you for taking time to talk to me. It's afternoon for you, morning for me. I've been talking with Oracle lead Java evangelist Simon Ritter, who will be presenting at QCon London coming up in March for the Oracle Technology Network. I'm Bob Rubart. Thanks for watching.